All right, we're excited to be here today with Sandy Cooprider, affectionately known as Coach Coop. Sandy was a football player at Wenatchee Valley College, head coach, athletic director, a Wenatchee Valley College distinguished alumnus, outstanding faculty member, and Hall of Fame inductee. Sandy, welcome.
Thank you. I came from Spokane, Washington, graduated from North Central High School, and my former high school coach was real good friends with the head football coach at Wenatchee Valley College at the time. I was planning on going to Columbia Basin Community College to play football with a bunch of my friends. I wasn't real excited about going there, so I was at my best friend's house, that was his dad, the coach, and Tom Perry, who was here at the time, was there, and I met him, and I really liked him. And so we didn't have any letters of intent back then, so it was more or less a verbal commitment to go there. And so I decided I was going to come to Wenatchee Valley College because I liked what he had to say to me. And it was an opportunity for me to get away from my friends and to develop a new identity that I think I really needed. And that was one of the reasons why I came here.
Well, tell us about football. You came on a football scholarship. What was it like to play football in the 1960s?
Well, it was really exciting. I came from a pretty large school in Spokane, and we played in a stadium where there was 12 and 14,000 people. And coming to Wenatchee, obviously, it's a lot smaller community. And when we played football here, we played in what is called the Apple Bowl now, and we used to fill it up pretty good, so it was really exciting. When I first came here, I was pretty scared. I was 18 years old, hadn't been away from Spokane very much. I drove down in my car, didn't know anybody. I met the coaches. I was one of the last ones to report on a Sunday, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any place to stay, so I actually stayed in my car for a couple of days until I met a couple other players that were doing the same things. So we rented a one-bedroom house and put in triple bunks, and it was pretty entertaining at times, to say the least, to live in that house. But the people I met here have been lifelong friends. Some of the people that I played with at Wenatchee Valley College were people down the road that I ended up using them to get jobs, and et cetera, et cetera. And I loved it when I came here. I left, and then they had the opportunity to come back, which a lot of people don't.
That's great. So after Wenatchee Valley College, what did you do for education?
Well, I left Wenatchee Valley College and went to Montana State on a football scholarship, and graduated from Montana State, played 2 years there on the Big Sky Championship teams, which was pretty exciting. And the highlight was when I went down to San Diego State and played against Don Coryell, who coached at Wenatchee Valley College in 1955. And then I went to Whitworth University, Whitworth College back then, and had an opportunity to be a graduate assistant, and ended up getting my master's. Really didn't have a job for the next year after I graduated, and so I was coming to Wenatchee to recruit for Whitworth. Ended up meeting Paul Seal and Bill Penhaligon and also Dr. Stewart. And so I told them if anything ever opened up here, I'd love to come back to Wenatchee Valley College because I loved my experience when I played here and was a student. So lo and behold, about October 1st, one of the coaches here had something happen to his family, had to leave, he resigned real quickly. They called me up, real short notice. I was down here in 3 days. I drove down in my car with no air conditioning. It was 103 degrees out, and I was sweating like crazy, and I had an old polyester suit that I had used for graduation, and I had to go into a gas station, a restroom, and put my suit on, and then come up, and the only air-conditioned office at that particular time was the president's office, and I was just sweating. So I had a good interview. They said they'd get back to me in about 2 or 3 days. They did. I was so excited to come and be a part of the family at Wenatchee Valley College at the time, and that's how I got hired.
So after you scored the job, did well in your interview, tell us about what it was like to start as assistant coach at Wenatchee Valley College.
Well, it was pretty exciting because I came into a football program that I wasn't doing real well, and I was fresh out of coaching another college. And so basically what happened was we ended up winning the championship for football. And then I was also hired as the baseball coach, and so I thought I was a pretty hotshot coach because we came off of this championship season. And so I went into baseball in my first 10 games as a baseball coach. We won 10 games, and I really literally didn't know what I was doing. and I was coaching baseball like a football coach, and you can't do that. So then we ended up losing our next 22 games, and so it was a very humbling experience. Then in 1977, I had the opportunity to take over the football program, which was in dire straits, and I started off pretty good. My first quarterback that I recruited was Kenny Mayne, and he ended up being an All-American for us, and he went on to fame, et cetera, et cetera. And then for the next 4 years after he left, we weren't doing real well, and finally went to the president and said, hey, I need some assistant coaches full-time. So he hired them, and then from 1980 on, we had a pretty outstanding program. And we're fortunate enough in 1983 to go undefeated, ended up second in the nation. Our team had 3 bona fide junior college All-Americans. I had 22 of the first team all-conference selections that you could have out of 24. So it was a pretty exciting year. And then the value of community college athletics is huge. And the reason why is because you're going to get some kids that come from small schools. You're going to get some athletes that didn't have an opportunity to go to maybe a 4-year school or university. And what it allows them to do is to come in and kind of find their place. And I think more importantly is to get a great education. I'm a former community college athlete, and I came out of high school with not the greatest of grades, and for a lot of different reasons. And I had an opportunity to come here, and with the help of some great instructors and coaches, that allowed me to get a great education. And I think what it provides is an opportunity for kids to come from other areas. We get some great athletes that come in here, and then they find out there's other great athletes here, and so it becomes kind of a family. And I've been a part of night athletics for almost 44 years, and I'm very proud to be a part of it, and be proud from the fact is that I had the opportunities that I had.
So Sandy, this is your 43rd year of teaching. That makes 45 years with your time as a student. Tell us about your thoughts looking back on your career here at Wenatchee Valley College.
Well, my thoughts are, time flies when you're having fun. And I sure have had a lot of fun experiences with a lot of great people. And I remember this from a long time ago. An instructor told me when I was in my last year, my senior year of college, and he said, when you go someplace and you're there for a while, you want to leave that place, and when you leave that place, you want to make that place better than when you arrived. And I firmly believe that and when I do leave Wenatchee Valley College, that I've left it a better place for everybody in the future.